What do we got here, Lukey?
I think it's a little trout.
Starting the day off right. I'm gonna go cast right near you.
Yeah, so we're doing some shallow water fishing. Haven't done that in a while. I've been doing a lot of reef stuff. Let's finally have some wind today, so came inshore. Little trout.
Ooh, what are you using there?
Oh,
Fred the Jerk?
yep, Fred the Jerk. Oh, come on there, buddy. Come on.
That's awesome. Yeah, cool little story on Fred the Jerk. Had this father's son down fishing near our dock, Winter Haven, and I saw the kid. This is like 8-year-old kid looked like stick a nice bass, like a legit one. And so I'm watching it and just kind of silently cheering them on. And what's fun, and I didn't know who they were, and I saw it on Facebook because I saw our house in the background, and the dad had posted it there on a Facebook group. And he's like, yeah, we man, proud dad moment. And his son's sitting there holding this nice bass, and I looked in closer, and it was Fred the Jerk. And he did say it was like, yeah, I caught it on the Salt Strong lure. Bass love this thing. So apparently it's for bass and trout.
Yeah, and I've never been a big fan of just pink lures in general, and in this reef fishing, the Fred color, this pink color, is basically pink with some silver and gold flake in it, has been on fire. It's been on fire on the reefs, and so this is really one of my first times, actually the first time, throwing inshore, and it's like 3 casts in, got a trout, so that's pretty cool.
We got some crazy high tide right now.
Yeah, the reds are gonna be tough today. They're, as you can see, these leaves are basically going into the water from the mangroves. That's a sign that it's a high tide, higher than usual. And so those redfish and snook are probably gonna be more
a little bird up there.
More inaccessible. We at least have some pockets to cast into. So a good thing about these jerk shads, and Joe's got a paddle tail, same thing, is that we have them rigged on weighted hooks, on the Haas Helix hooks. And with that rigging, we can bury the hook point so that it's weedless. Around mangroves, nothing's totally weedless, but we can at least minimize the amount of time we get snagged. So yeah, if you're fishing around mangroves, really any shallow structure, these weighted hooks are a big deal, and I'll show you just so you can see what I'm talking about. The tail got bitten off, so don't have a full jerk shad, but this will still work. But yeah, that weighted hook is, it's in there, and that hook point is buried into the soft plastic, so there's really nothing for it to snag on. So super weedless. As soon as the fish strikes, that hook point will pop out and fish on. So highly recommend using that type of setup for soft plastics. Get these rods out of the way. Now let's go catch some fish.
Take it easy there. My new slot machine. Oh, got me a new one, dude.
Another one, all right.
Yep.
Good call.
They're just so nice.
Yeah, it is a game changer. The slot machine, yeah, for this type of fishing, we're just in need of accurate casts. A high quality rod is a big deal. That's why, again, I'm using the slot machine as well. It is a
$100 off for Insider members. Luke and I use the same discounts you guys do. My savings is getting up quite high.
Yeah.
I don't know if you guys have checked out as an Insider member. Once you're on the thank you page, it shows you how much money you've saved as a member. And we get some people who are well over 1,000 buckaroos in savings over the years. Pretty cool.
I'm one of those.
Yeah, I love it. Yeah, so I got some really big news. And we're filming this here end of August. And in the next 30 days, there will be a Salt Strong Smart Fishing Spots app. And I'm super pumped because we've been working on this for a long time. You guys have been asking about it. We're always like, yeah, maybe, knowing deep down we had to do it. And not only that, we combine Smart Fishing Spots with Smart Fishing Tides all in one app. Because right now, if you're in there, to me, one of the negatives is that you have to click carry the one, about 4 times to get into to actually see a tide a smart fishing tide with the strike score and all that stuff. Luke, what are you doing to me? You're killing me here.
Yeah.
I'm trying to catch Joel here on the camera now. And so we've limited that. It's going to be right there now on the home screen of your Smart Fishing Spots app. And the other beauty of it is, as you guys been seeing, Luke's been doing a bunch of offshore stuff, nearshore, I should say. And when you have an app, it's downloading a lot of that data. So if you were at home looking at certain spots and ledges, that screen will say where you can still zoom in and have complete access, even if you're 20 miles out and way out of internet. So that's going to be another big piece of it. I'm really pumped for it to get out.
It is going to be
like
nice.
All technology, nothing happens quick.
And yeah, for anybody who just hasn't been, hey, it's a little bit slow, like because every time you move, the smart spots has to reload basically, and this app fixes it where it is lightning fast. As soon as you move or pan the map, even if you're zoomed in at a high level with all the features on, where you can see the oysters, the seagrass, the smart spots, everything, it is lightning fast. It all pans and moves extremely smoothly. So that's going to be a really, just really better overall experience.
Yep. We got some new, caught me a mangrove. That weedless hoss, pop right out. We got some new tackle coming. Skinny lipper, that thing's been selling and working like crazy. Got some new colors.
Mm-hmm. Coming soon.
What are the colors?
Oh, it's a secret.
Top secrets?
Yep.
Yeah, I don't even get to know. Make sure I'm still weedless after hitting that tree. Yep, still weedless.
Should be able to pick off a little snook on one of these little points.
Yeah, so for those listening, talk about what we're staring at here.
Yeah, we're fishing the mangrove shoreline, and this is near a cut. So this is a bunch of backwater back in front of us now. We have outgoing current flow, and the wind is coming up towards us as well. So the wind and the tide are aligned, which is good because the current's just starting to move after a really tall tide. And so we're basically, fishing we're going up into the current and letting our lures just try to get us back in as far as we can, and these little mangrove gaps, knowing that there's going to be some snook and reds in there. They're probably going to be pretty far back, but if we just keep slinging lures and hitting back in every pocket we can, we'll eventually get some.
Oh boy.
We already got the trout. Usually the trout will be out here in the main bays on some grass. The reds and snook will be tighter to this structure. So now that we have the trout on the boat so far, we'll go after reds and snook now. But
for that slam.
Yeah, this current's moving real nice.
Yeah. I felt like it wasn't moving at all when we launched the boat. Like zero. Oh.
It is a little bit murky. I'm tempted to put the skinny lipper on.
Ooh.
To help call those fish out.
Yes, I drove her from Winter Haven, about an hour, 20-minute drive. And I had some coffee this morning. I had to go to the bathroom like a racehorse. As soon as I got in, I saw Joel, and I was like, dude, I got to go to the bathroom. He's like, all right. So I'm over there. There's no public bathrooms here at this ramp that we're at, and kind of all by myself, just sitting there peeing on a little tree, and this truck comes behind me, like of all the places to park comes right behind me. I mean, I feel like I could feel the headlamps on my rear. And I'm just sitting there peeing. I'm not going to stop. And I hear someone get out, and I'm still facing forward, and finally kind of finish up. It's this young lady. And she's just sitting there laughing. And I was like, oh, I'm just checking out the trees. She goes, oh, I bet you are. That's how I started my day. Where are these snooks, huh?
They're in here somewhere.
I'm not seeing much bait.
Yeah, I haven't fished the zone in a while. There have been a couple little herons in these trees, so there's bait around.
A heron? African or European?
It's a swallow.
I know.
Yeah, we'll get them.
Yep. And also we came out with a new PDF, ebook, whatever we want to call it. 10 Deadly Redfish Mistakes. It's just kind of a culmination of all the things that we've learned, all the mistakes that we've made, all the questions that we get asked, and put it into a, I don't know, 32-page or so PDF. If you haven't received it, Insider Members is right there in your account. Everyone else, you can just put your email in. Just put a link in it down below in the show notes. But so far, everyone has seemed to like the book. Some funny stories in there. And it's super helpful. And it just shows how tough it can be to catch redfish, but also how much easier it can be when you have some of the right tools and shortcuts. What is that? Let's see.
Might be some little bait or something moving around.
Yeah, something moving.
But yeah, right now is the tough time for reds. I really like. Ooh, let's see. Oh, there we are. Oh, got something. It'd be
You caught it right there in that
It'd be funny if
school.
it's a redfish, and I was just.
That was right in that school of
Yeah,
bait
right,
or whatever it was.
Right where that weird stuff was. Snook.
Snooky.
Yeah, so right now the redfish, the fact that we're in the warm period.
Some activity around here now.
The fact that we're in the warm period and the water's really high back in mangrove territory like this, those reds. Oh, there's that little snook's gone. Those reds will push way back up into the trees, and they're just flat tough to get. So this is the time where usually I'm targeting snook and trout. Trout like the kind of the open flats, and snook, they love spots like that. This is right on a point with some current flow coming out. That's like a textbook spot for snook to be. So I'm literally just casting into these mangroves, letting this thing sink, and then just doing some small little twitches out of there, and they just can't help but to pop it.
Go back behind us here.
Yeah, these little soft plastic
movement.
jerk baits are tough to beat when the fish are a little bit finicky. Whereas if they're aggressive, paddle tails are by far the ticket because you can fish them faster.
Maybe I should switch to my jerk shad.
Yeah, so the fact that Joe's using a paddle tail and I'm getting the action, they're just a little bit too finicky for that, is my guess.
Well, technically. I hadn't got that much more action.
100% more. Last I checked, that's a pretty good percentage.
Oh, but that can change real quick. Bro Frere, Mo Frere.
And yeah, so this little spot we're going up to, this is another little choke point. And again, just another smart spot to go try out where the water's constricted in a tight zone. That's going to have increased water flow. There's more bait moving, and these predators, red, snook, even small tarpon, they'll congregate in spots like this.
How about flounder?
Flounder as well.
Yes, looks good. Love the choke points. I like to see some more mulattoes, but
Yeah, there's not much
mullet
bait.
for the layperson.
Not much bait, around here yet. And this is one of those things, I haven't fished here in like 6 months. So we don't really know where the food is, where the bait is, but when in doubt, go to a choke point and fish points, and which is what we're doing right now. So even though I haven't been here in a while, we already at least got some fish on the board in a relatively short time. That point right there should have something. So that was a good cast. I'm gonna let it fall to the bottom and then just start doing some nice little twitches where it's basically on the bottom and it's bumping out. You want it to basically pop right off the bottom and ideally in front of a fish's face. If that happens, they can't help but to eat it. Yeah, both strikes have literally been it's weight on the line. Like I haven't even felt the thump yet. They're not very aggressive right now. So we just have to get a little reaction strike from them.
It's been a tough, kind of an overall tough summer bite.
Yeah, it's just been hot. It's been super hot. Oh, I think I just had a hit.
I want to go over this way in this little cove here. Saw some bait trickling up on top. Yeah, we're heading to the Keys shortly, so stay tuned for some stuff with old Captain Hollywood. We haven't fished with him in a while. And might even do a day of lobstering. We haven't done any lobster tips. And this will be a unique one because this is not you know, what most people think of as, you know, that lobster season when it's that first couple of weeks, mini season and the normal season. This is going to be a month and a couple weeks out. And so we're just gonna, basically it's slack tide, kind of a cool little tip. Normally, you know, at slack, it's a tough bite. And so, what are you doing back there, Joel? Oh my goodness. Joel's bringing COVID on the boat. What the heck's going on? And we're basically gonna, and that's the best time to dive, right, Luke? It's slack if you guys have been lobstering, especially if you're in and around bridges and some crazy structure that we like to dive. Man, you are getting all the action.
Yeah,
what the
there's
heck?
another
I
little
gotta switch to my jerk shad.
Another little snook. Yeah, this little pink, these pink colors are surprisingly good. I think it could just even just be to be different. Where like this, we're in Tampa Bay, and it gets a lot of pressure, a whole lot of pressure. And sometimes it's good to show them something they haven't seen before.
Well, they've certainly seen some Slam Shady.
Yeah, they've all seen Slam Shady around here now.
All right, but it still works. Don't you
So-
guys fret. But I am gonna switch it up.
Not a giant, but we've got ourselves a snook. Get this guy off. Our little fella. We'll straight arm him, make him look bigger. But yeah, hold on to my thumb. As I mentioned before, you don't have to have the full lure, and in many cases, without the tail works better if the bait fish are smaller. But the key is instead of letting that hook just float above it, is just dig that hook point into the lure, and now it's angled down a little bit. So when I'm twitching it, it basically goes down and then pops off the bottom. Really, these fish right now, they're on the bottom. They're not aggressive. They're not going to hit top water. So this is just a great way to get right in their face while still being weedless.
In the face.
See if we can get another one out of there. Yeah, this little point right here is getting hit with current, and there's a lot of structure, which is perfect setup. See if we can pull another one out of there.
Dr. Juice. The juice is loose, baby.
Yeah, big thing about being weedless. I mean, you can see my lure over there, but it's on that little mangrove root, and just light little twitches will have it fall right down. If that was like a topwater plug with treble hooks or a subsurface twitch bait, we would have to go in there and retrieve it. Oh, there, got another one.
What in the world?
Just got off. See if we can get back up in there real quick. So yeah, on that cast, right? I was wrapped around a mangrove, got myself off without having to go wreck the spot,
Pets' heads are falling off.
and then almost caught a fish.
All right. Go up there by that point. Oh man, this thing cast a mile. Could be my new slot machine ride.
Yeah, so after missing a strike, as mentioned before, that hook point will pull out. That'll almost guarantee you get snagged in the mangroves. So check your bait, re-rig it, back in action, and see if we can get revenge on whatever it was that got away.
Also, for you insider members, be on the lookout for an email from us in the next 30 days.
Oh man, I got thumped.
All right, let me get over here. Oh, perfect cast with some opportunities, some just free lures, just an old-fashioned Goodwill. Thank you. What was that? You hear those bubbles?
Yeah.
So be on the lookout for that. It'll be first come, first serve, but we got some lures that we want to give away, and honestly, just kind of get your feedback on it. So
Yeah, part of the club is, one thing we do is just test lures and test colors, and yeah, we want to open up the beta testing, if you will, to members as well. Send you some new stuff, get your feedback on it. It'll be a lot quicker way to get some good data.
we like the data.
No, there's some more fish in there. We'll give a few more casts. So this is almost called like, it's a little bit of power fishing, but then as soon as we find a zone that holds fish,
Oh boy.
we really slow down.
Oh yeah.
Especially little points like this. Ooh, something's messing with me. Little points like this that have this current flow and structure, and it's a little bit deeper. Like this bay is usually averages like 2 feet deep, 2.5, and this is like a little 3-foot dip near these mangroves.
Hit that point there. Come on.
And it could have been a little mangrove snapper that's been bumping me. Usually when a snook hits, it'll suck it down, especially a little small lure like this.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah, another. This must be snapper.
Might be the key to take the tail off there, huh? Your little lower, small profile. I'm gonna keep fishing with it, and it's always good to have the experiment. See what really works here. I'm gonna try to get. Oh, you don't see that left hand little cast all the time. Let's see if it works. Man, that deserved a strike.
All right, a little snook just popped just out of casting range.
Out of your casting range or mine?
Probably out of yours, but probably not mine. So.
Oh, I see. Oh, really?
Dang it.
You like that one, Joel? The smack talking. Smack talking.
Well,
Sweetest sound since spring break 1999.
Joe caught one. That means there's probably a bunch of them down there. So
Yeah,
we'll see if we can.
Probably a few. Although I don't recall you actually landing a snook yet.
Oh, you were too busy yapping. I definitely touched the snook.
Mm-hmm. I don't recall that.
Yours might be bigger, but I at least said.
Yours was smaller than this guy?
Yeah.
Oh boy. Whoa, boy. I'm telling you, he's got some fight to him, though. Look at that. I love these snook. So that on the Fred the Jerk.
Yeah, Joel, come check us out. Yeah, this
tail.
is the lured. So this is that jerk. This is it. Like something about this color. I'm now becoming a huge fan of these Fred lures. Joe was throwing the Slam Shady paddle tail at first, and then this little pink jerk has been making it happen.
Got some pliers here. Oh, there we go. All right, let me get him back in. There you go, bud. All right. Fred's the Jerk on the old Haas Helix. All right, let's go back for more. I tighten my drag in case I catch a bigger one than that.
So that snook earlier, that hit was right up around here. Ooh, I just heard something under that
Make
mangrove.
a cast back in there?
Not yet.
Oh boy. I think, yeah. Oh, whew. Just around those trees. I love structure like that. Maximize the structure. Maximize the predator fish. Oh yeah. Let's see if we got anything right over. Oh, this area looks so good.
Yeah, this water's coming out real nice. So yeah, Joel, check out this rod movement. So I'm gonna basically get up under these trees, and the current is pushing towards the tree, so I can be a little bit aggressive, but not. Oh, bad cast there. Let me redo that one. That one got away from me. But I'm basically gonna cast up to about maybe a foot or so from the trees. There we are, nice little skip, and I'm just letting it fall. I'm letting it fall, and what that current is actually pushing the line and the lure up straight along that mangrove line, letting the lure fall, and now just doing some quick little twitches. So it's on the bottom, and I'm just twitching, twitch, and it just comes up like either a scared shrimp or an injured bait fish. It basically mimics both. So whether they're targeting shrimp or bait fish, if they see this little twitch in front of them, they're gonna pop it. And that's why this lure is just so effective. It's not as fast. You can't fish as fast as a paddle tail or a traditional topwater. But when the fish are a little bit finicky, it flat out works.
Yeah, you can hear some of them busting up. I mean, I don't know if you can look at that, Joel, but I mean, that thing goes back another 10, 12 feet. If you look back here, and that water is way back there. So you can hear some of those fish popping. And many times, don't you really look, I mean, a lot of the bigger ones are gonna be either not in this area or way back in there.
Yeah, they usually get the primary spots. Like that's why the points are good. Like the bigger fish will be holding in spots like back there where it's a little bit deeper.
Ooh,
But yeah,
hit right at that point.
a lot of the bigger fish pull out of this extreme shallows during the summer. Like the snook in particular, they're mostly out by the passes right now.
Or these nearshore wrecks. Crazy how many of these overslot snook that you've caught.
Yeah, that's finally. It seems like that's finally starting to die off. So I think they're on their way back to the reefs or to the passes.
Well, all right, I'm catching a snook on this one. I know there's a fish down there. Come on, baby. You cannot refuse the juice.
Yeah, with these lures, it's really about rigging. So if it isn't streamlined, it's not going to catch many fish. But if it is streamlined, this is going to be one of the best lures out there. So these jerk shads, definitely something that is more of an intermediate to advanced angler type thing. It just requires precision rigging and to check on it. But if you're used to that, and once you get good at it, it is a game-changing lure. Like when I was fishing tournaments, most of the winning fish were on lures like this, on little jerk lures, because they just flat out work. And one way to know if it's rigged right, hopefully you can see it.
Oh,
I'm going to go down below you, but when you move it fast in the water, it does that little. It basically swims. So I'll do it one more time, and if you see that lure swimming. See that? You can't really do it right now. This water didn't clear, but that lure, when it's going fast and it does this little shimmer like that, that's when it's good. If it's not rigged properly, it's going to helicopter. That is when you won't catch fish. So make sure that your lure's rigged properly when you're fishing these jerk shads. And if so, these things are awesome. Because I've been seeing some community reports of people fishing back in the zone. And it seems like the consensus has been that, getting out before the sun comes up has been key. And like once the sun's up, the bite just totally shuts down. We had a little gas line issue, if you will, at the boat ramp today. So we got a late start. And so we missed the best bite. So now it's about just finesse fishing. And this is a great way to extend the bite.
Oh, come on. Pop out of there. Oh, yes. The benefits of going weedless.
So you say you did get some hits up here?
Yeah, I had 2 hits. I don't know if it's just a little small guy or what, but right on the point, right where it's supposed to be. Did you hear that?
Yeah, so this little bay, it basically opens up into a dead-end bay, and that is not where we want to be fishing. So we're just going to fish this entrance to it. If the fish are anywhere around here, they'll be right at this entrance. The odds of getting them further back just totally plummet to the point that we don't want to mess with it. Try to get one right through the middle.
Yeah. Yeah, maybe we should give away Fred the Jerk to the members. What do you think?
So on top of what we were talking about before, so 2 of them?
It's possible. Anything's possible. There's a will, there's a way.
Yeah, that would be cool to include this in the testing with members as well. All right. So Fred the Jerk very well might be one of the free lures that we offer. 2 insiders
members only, though. Oh, there it is. Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right where that snook hit earlier. Oh, dang! I just had a hit too. Is that a red or snook?
I'm pretty sure it's a snook because it popped up right when I hit it. Woo, baby. Isn't that crazy? I went for my Slam Shady mulligan. It's probably because I didn't have my 2.0. That is my confidence. And I was like, oh, Luke keeps bragging all about the mulligan.
No, that's
oh,
a red.
That is a red.
It's a red, nice.
It is a red. All right.
Fooling redfish every day.
Slamma jamma ramma home. Heck yeah. Well, an aggressive little guy right there on the point. Ooh, baby. All right, kiddos. It's a good size red. We like, hold on, bud, hold on. I am going to save you. Oh, he doesn't believe me. Good looking little red there. Hooked perfectly. All right, hold on, little buddy. Now, normally I would have my pliers on me, and I completely forgot to put them on my waist. Come on, come on. There we go. All right.
Yeah, and so that's the full
Get you
thread.
released. There it is, beautiful little red. Whoop. There he goes. All right.
So that was the full thread there. Seems like the bigger one. Once you started using the jerk, now you're taking the lead. So I think they're actually preferring that bigger one. But yeah, pretty cool how even on a bite that's definitely not a aggressive feed. I was throwing topwater at the very beginning and not a single follow, nothing. And then I was like, hey, these fish aren't aggressive. Let's go jerk shad.
Yep, there it is. Gotta re-rig. Still same lure. Like that, I just gotta make sure that I can still get weedless, and that last catch kind of shifted it. There
I
we
just got around the mangrove and I thought I was retrieving and I felt a bump. I thought I was hitting the mangrove, and then all of a sudden it hit back at me and it was a fish. So we're gonna nose up and see if we can get revenge on what I just missed.
I'm gonna go back over there in that corner and see if there's any more
Definitely missed a strike.
red fish. Oh, there's a little bit of bait over there. I see something moving. Oh, yeah.
All right, come on, try that again there, little guy.
Oh, yeah. All right.
Well, it's cool. So we got the slam.
Yeah.
I don't know how long it's been since we've been filming, but probably 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, probably 30. Is that right, Joel? Joel's like, oh, busy coughing back there. I'm gonna give you a hard time, dude. I haven't seen you in a while, man. Jeez. Joel's busy doing full-length feature films, and heck, we've just been busy. And it's been tough to film. It's been so hot.
Yeah.
The last time we did it, like glasses were I had to like stop multiple times. Glasses just kept falling down and sweating so bad. As soon as that sun really comes up and it's like, what, 9:30-ish?
Got a little bit too aggressive on that cast.
Were you trying to cast over there?
Don't worry about it.
Look at that, bombs away.
So again, another benefit of using weedless soft plastics. I was in the top of one of these trees. I'm trying to, there we are, that's the cast I wanted. So I cast it over that point. If there's a fish there, I should catch on this one. I cast it over that point, I'm gonna retrieve right along the edge, like literally 6 inches to a foot away from this whole edge. Doing rod tip down just to keep everything in line. You know, nice slow retrieve through there. So if there's a fish near that ledge, odds are that it's gonna see it and come up and swipe at it.
I'm gonna go on that side. Whoa, whoa.
For that one,
Off of that.
no, there was one there a second ago. That certainly felt me. Does he have friends or no friends is the question.
That is the, who'd you hear that?
I'd heard something like 5 feet back in there. Yeah, that's just the problem right now. This will probably be a really good spot in about an hour. The water will be about 6 to 8 inches lower. And all these fish are gonna have to, I can hear mullet and stuff back in there. But all those fish are gonna have to start pushing out. That's when most of the catching will take place.
And all we can do is try our best. So what's all this little
Yeah, some
mud murk? Is that?
It could be from mullet rooting around up in there.
Yeah, it's definitely not just from the current. Huh.
All right, so yeah, it's a dead end back there. I feel like we fished out this little zone, so we'll go back out around and hit the outside again.
Yeah, but a successful little start of the morning.
Yeah.
Got a few, handful of fish. On the Fred the Jerk.
Fred the Jerk was the ticket.
Fooling redfish, trout, and snook.
Which helix hook do you have? The Haas helix hook? You have the 1/8 ounce?
I got 1/8.
So I'm throwing the 16th.
Really?
Yeah.
No wonder I'm casting so much farther than you. I thought it's like I'm gonna have to talk to Luke about getting back in the gym.
So the 1/16. So with these Haas helix hooks, there's multiple sizes, and the 1/8 ounce is really the best all-purpose, especially for paddle tails. It's noticeably better. But for these jerks, I prefer, if I know I'm throwing the jerks, I use the 1/16.
Oh, because you don't like to catch redfish?
That was just a fluke. You got lucky. But it just skips a whole lot better. Granted, you haven't been watching the cast, but mine are skipping like 3 to 5 feet in most cases, whereas Joe's, that was
a 1.5 feet.
That was a decent one, but it just won't cast it won't skip quite as well. But again, they both work. It's really, if you're gonna be skipping. Is that a fish or?
I don't know, is it a fish or a massive pelican poop? Either way, exciting. Ooh, do you see that overhand skip? Deserves the strike.
Yeah, the 1/8 ounce certainly works. I'm not saying it doesn't.
I heard you say it didn't. What did you hear, Joel?
Doesn't work quite as well.
I here to prove you wrong. No, I'm with you. I just happen to have the 1/8 on with the paddle tail earlier, and I usually stick with the 1/8. I like, dude, that came out of nowhere.
Did you have one on that point?
Must have been following me up. I was like reeling it in, and it just came up and went, pow.
Yeah, that little point has been holding some fish.
I'm guessing it was a snook.
See if they're back in that little zone where I was missing them earlier.
Yep, always, as Luke said, important to check it every time, because after he hit it, it started helicoptering.
Yeah, if the lure's helicoptering, it'll go from one of the best lures you can use to you're not going to catch anything. If it's doing the old helicopter, it is pretty much a guaranteed way to not catch something, not catch anything.
Still kind of sporadic. Let me fix him.
Oh, I thought we were going to get some more snook on this little zone once they calm down. So they're just hugging the points right now.
Yeah, they are. Ooh, baby. Yeah, I'm really excited for just October in general. It seems to be such a fun redfish month.
Yeah, that's my favorite.
Every year.
My favorite month of all.
They come out in schools.
That's when the big ones come on the flats. So those big reds, basically once they're over 28 inches, they generally go offshore and get in big schools. And the fall is when they come in back inshore again. And that's the time, if you want to catch the overslot reds, the big reds in particular, up in the shallows, it is the fall. In October seems to be the time where they start coming in and they're hungry, and once you find them, now you have 100 fish fighting over your lure. It is awesome.
Yeah.
So that's why I like to use topwater. That's usually when I'm using more topwater and bigger paddle tails, where it's really about finding the fish. So basically move fast until you find the school is generally a smart play.
And that's when you see the double up opportunities, and it's fun.
Yeah. Like, yeah, one day I was out there and I was actually doing a test on rattles versus no rattles, and I was using these same jerk lures. It was just the Alabama leprechaun color. So I had one with rattles, one with no rattles, and I was in this boat, and so I had one right behind me, and school was coming, and so I hooked up, was fighting it, and then all of a sudden I look over and another school is coming towards me, and so I was just like, this is my chance to double up on like big red. So I put the red I was fighting in the rod holder and made a cast with the other rod and hooked up. And I ended up landing both fish. They were both over 30 inches. And yeah, I was out by myself and doubled up on overslot reds. It was pretty awesome.
With lures.
Yeah, with lures too. And I had everything on film too, in case anybody was saying it didn't happen. That was a fun video to create. It was just chaos. And I was basically the line would go slack in this one, so I'd have to reel it tight again, and then start fighting the fish in my hand. It was a hoot. Yeah, that's October fishing.
Or that was when we captured that flounder flying in the air.
Yeah.
The flounder was just doing its thing, and all of a sudden, it probably sounded like a herd of elephants to flounder. And we're watching the school come to us. We're fishing the school reds, and we're just trying to be as quiet as we can. And the reds spooked up the flounder. This is, once again, on video. And the flounder freaks out. And so it's trying to get away from the school reds, not know what's going on. And it actually leaps in the air. The greatest of ease.
Yeah, it looked like just like a perfect disc, like skipping on the surface. It was like skipping, and
we're like, did we just see that?
Yeah.
Let's go back to the game film.
Yeah, I think you had the head camera on and got that one. That was one of those things where...
Yeah, I thought Nat Geo was going to be contacting me for the rights, but they didn't.
Still waiting on them.
Yeah. Keep tagging them every day. Hey, Nat Geo. Like, we got stuff that makes that look like nothing. Child's play. Oh, that deserved a strike. Come on. Mullet jumping? Come on. Let's see if we can't catch one more here, and we gotta go film some videos for some members. We'll be doing here, and we are getting really close to celebrating 50,000 members. If you guys can believe it, isn't that cool?
Yeah, it's crazy. I mean, it seemed like it was just yesterday when we hit 30,000. We did that 30,000 redfish release. Just a redfish for every member, and now we're almost at 50.
Yeah, if you guys don't know, we released 30,000 redfish up and down the west coast of Florida to kind of celebrate 30,000 members. A redfish for every member. And that took a long time because you got to breed these suckers. It took like a year.
Yeah, we funded
in that time frame.
Yeah,
we get up to 50,000.
Yeah, so we funded basically from no redfish at all to getting the eggs, to hatching them, to then releasing them, and also the coolest part was that they're tagged. And so this is the first study ever done where the redfish actually have pit tags in them. And this group is Moat Marine, who we teamed up with for this, is they have these different sensors, and really kind of along the Gulf Coast of Florida, and they've been doing it for a snook study. And so basically anytime a fish swims past one of these sensors for the rest of their life, it'll ping it, it'll know what fish it was, what release batch it was in, so they know when it was released, they know the tide cycle was released, they know the exact salinity, right? All that stuff was tracked, and so that they can use that data to help future releases just to be as efficient and effective as possible.
That's
so we have members all across all the way from Texas to up in Virginia, and some are like, oh, I wish you guys would release them here, but like, no, like this data, this is more important about the data than obviously 30,000 redfish is a big deal, but the data is the biggest thing, because now we can use that data, really all the different agencies can use this data to help make sure that their releases are effective as well. So really, really cool that we're able to be a part of that.
Ooh, that one deserves a strike.
Making history. Yeah, so here's a big point. So this is another type of spot that should be holding fish. So we'll probably close on here. Let's see if we can pick something off.
So far, that little choke point back there has been it.
Yeah, that smaller choke point was it. But now this one, we have a little bit of wind hitting it. This one's a little bit shallower. So not sure if they'll be here or not, but it's worth a try.
Well, good news is we've got jerk sheds. Go pretty shallow. Gotta imagine there's at least a couple little snook hanging up here.
Yeah, so this is like a textbook spot. We got a nice little point that's getting hit by wind. All these little roots hanging down.
Sun right in my eyes.
Yeah. Note to self, should have brought my glasses.
You forgot your sunglasses?
I've got them, I just don't want to stop fishing.
Say, dude, have you learned from me? It was painful that time. Yeah, there looks like a good spot. It's tough to see right into the sun.
Yeah, this one, it helps just to be, ooh, something just struck right here. Helps to be weedless and just know that if you cast too far, you're not gonna get snagged. So something hit out off the trees. It was either a small snook or a trout. Let's see if we can get them.
I gained some respect for my fellow anglers, but lost my retina, staring right into the sun. Yeah, this little flat, you'd think there'd be some fish right on this.
Something.
You got a hit?
No, something popped though. I think it was just a smaller trout, probably just eating a little fry bait. This one's a little bit too big for him.
That looks good right there. Just super shallow.
Yeah.
Get one more cast up there and then we'll end it, see if we can end it on a high note here. Otherwise, guys, if you are a member, make sure to join one of the chapters as well, completely free. We're doing them every month. Saw one just happen in Savannah, Georgia. So we're expanding outside of Florida. Got some interest with a group in Texas. And really neat. The speakers have been amazing. So every month there's a speaker, there's a little tournament, there's giveaways, and just a great way to meet other anglers, to meet some new friends, and to learn. And you know, conservation is going to be a big piece of it as well. Each chapter is kind of doing their own thing. We had, you know, one group, St. Pete, Tampa chapter. There's actually a St. Pete and a Tampa chapter. They did a massive trash cleanup there at a popular area, and heck, even the news came out and featured them, which was kind of cool. So definitely join a chapter. If not a member, join us today. Great way to save a ton of time by knowing the trends, knowing exactly where to fish. Of course, we have the smart fishing spots and new app and all that stuff is coming out very soon. And then the tackle discounts as well, as we touched on. Luke and I are using the same ones our members do, and we save tons of money. My wife loves me. My love life's been better. Everything's been better since I joined the club. So come join us at saltstrong.com and stay tuned for more. We out.
See ya.
Peace.